Hey everyone, this is Zypha here, welcome back or welcome to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be covering all of the changes that were brought to Dead by Daylight in the 7.70 update. Now this is a mid-chapter patch, so as you can imagine, this is absolutely stuffed with changes. Hopefully I'm not too tardy to the party here, guys. If I am late to covering this, I apologize, but fingers crossed I'm not. Honestly, guys, we have a lot to go over today, so sit down, grab a snack, get a drink. We're going to be here for a while. This might easily be a 30-minute video. It could be longer. I don't know. Hopefully not, though, but we'll see. We're going to get into it without further hesitation. So first and foremost for features, they have had a game engine update. Now, it's a lot more underwhelming than you probably anticipated. So basically, by the way, I should probably have prefaced by saying, as always, I will link the patch notes in the description. I don't know why you guys would want to read them, to be honest, unless you want to read the bug fixes, which I don't cover. Otherwise, that's probably why you're here in the first place. But where was I? So the Dead by Daylight game engine has been updated to Unreal Engine 5. This update will have no effect on gameplay or in-game graphics and serves as a foundation for possible future improvements. And due to the engine update, overall game file size has been reduced by 18 gigabytes on Xbox Series X/S and PlayStation 5. So nothing exciting there, really. I honestly saw that when I opened the patch notes and I nearly had a mini heart attack.
What?
I was like, what the fuck? They're gonna make the graphics like really insano, like fucking amazing looking? No, it's not that cool. That's a bummer, but there you go. That's one of the changes. Moving on, we have the new store, guys. Yes, it is here. I don't know who asked for this. I don't know why we needed this, but yeah, we got a store overhaul. So yeah, there is a lot to read here, guys. I don't know how many fucking bullet points are here. Nearly at least 20. We're gonna be here for a while. Oh my god. Okay, first and foremost, the new store is available, of course, replacing the previous one. With this, we have now a featured page which shows the latest releases and chapters and the addition of the weekly gift feature, which is kind of cool. They've got weekly gift feature now, apparently. So yeah, the weekly gift allows players to claim free rewards during multiple weeks if activated, and rewards are renewed per week. Okay, sorry about that. Apparently I bumped the mute button on my microphone and proceeded to talk to myself for 15 minutes, and now I have to re-record it all over again. Oh, I hate my life. Okay, well, anyways, where were we? So, this new weekly gift feature allows players to claim free rewards during multiple weeks, if activated. Rewards are renewed per week, meaning that unclaimed ones are discarded when the week is reset. So yes, once again, behavior is back at it with the FOMO shit. So if you guys are already worried about missing out on stuff in this game, you know, like the Rift, like the Tome, all of that, well, here's something else to add to your list. If you care about getting a free cosmetic every week, if you don't log on and get that reward, you're gonna lose it. So that's kind of hype. I suppose if they do release something really mid or shit that week, then you ain't gonna miss out. So I guess it's all right in that regard if you do. But anyways, they also have a specials page now, apparently, which is a dedicated page to show all special offers currently available in the game. They have a collections page, which houses all collections that exist in the game and shows their content. Players can also unlock cosmetics directly from there. They have a bundles page, which showcases special bundles available for unlocking, chapter bundles, in brackets previously known as DLC chapters, and the new DLC packs. Bundles can be opened to review their content before unlocking them, although not yet in the case of DLC packs. We have Killer and Survivor dedicated wardrobes now, which are new separated independent pages for killers and survivors that allow for quick mix and matching of characters and their cosmetics. With mix and matching specifics, players can now select characters and cosmetics without having to equip them immediately. Clicking on an option allows players to preview the character or cosmetic. Selecting the character or equipping the cosmetic confirms their choice. Being able to preview allows players to preview pieces from different locked and unlocked cosmetics, mix and matching options to be able to try them out before unlocking them, which is great. I don't know why you'd be able to try on part of locked cosmetics, because they're not interchangeable, right, if they're locked. But in general, though, I think that's great that you can try on individual pieces. So yeah, that's a nice little feature, I suppose. Players can now filter their cosmetics with different options and are able to show all options that are currently unavailable. With previewing perks, powers, and mores, players can now open a little section that displays the power and perks of any character that is currently selected, allowing for a smoother way to review and compare their character's gameplay, so that's nice. Players can now preview every killer's Mori, including with the mix and match outfits. This way, players can check out how their cosmetic choices are going to look during the Mori. Visceral outfits are going to show their own version of their character's Mori, of course. For bio pages for characters, these were made a part of the character's wardrobes. They showcase the character's lore, height, speed, and terror radius size. Power and perks were moved to the power and perks window. It then says common. Unlocking is now done with a press and hold mechanic to allow for a confirmation process free of pop-ups. The section for getting more Oryx cells can now be accessed through the store, and it can also be accessed by clicking the Oryx cells counter on the top right corner of the screen. Kill switched options are going to be available for unlocking, yet we are making sure to communicate it with a pop-up for players to confirm that they still want to proceed. Search bars have been included in most sections to allow finding characters, collections, and cosmetics easier. They've added a celebration pop-up to better communicate that players have unlocked content or earned a reward at the store. For the Shrine of Secrets, the shrine was taken out of the store and placed in the characters' lobbies to be closer to the loadout and bloodweb. That's an interesting choice. The layout was updated to be easier to read and use, providing key information without the need to hover on any perk option. There is a lot there. Sorry if you got really bored just listening to all of that. I will obviously accompany my talking with visuals and stuff to actually better represent what I'm on about at each bullet point. That is a complete overhaul there. They've done a lot with the store, so that's very cool. I'm gonna miss the old ones, you know, RIP old DBD store. You'll be missed. But yeah, we have this new one now with all these fancy tabs and all kinds of stuff going on, so very interested to see what that looks like after I've finished recording. Moving on to matches details menu. The match details menu now allow players to review perks. During a match, when opening the match details window, in brackets, escape on computers, players can see their equipped perks. Hovering on perks and offerings allows players to see their tooltips and read their description. So, in my opinion, this is kind of unnecessary, but it's not really something you can argue with. It's just an extra that wasn't really needed. Because, like, you already know the perks you put on before a game, or at least you should do, unless you're blind, in which case I don't know why you're playing the game in the first place. But you can literally see your 4 perks in the bottom right corner, and obviously you set up all of those before you go into a trial, right? So it seems a bit random to add a feature on the menu where you can read out what your perk does as if you've never read it before, but hey, it is what it is. I don't care. It's just a random feature. Moving on to content. So for the archives, we of course got Tome 19 Splendor. Level 1 has opened on the 23rd of April at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm recording this on the 25th, so I don't know when you guys will be seeing this video, but by which point you'll probably already have level 2 unlocked as well. I don't know. Hopefully not that long, but we got the new tome that will obviously be accompanied with a new rift. I did hear some people say the new rift was shit, but I've not seen it, so I can't really speak from personal experience, but I mean, I usually think most of the rifts are pretty subpar, so that won't be a first or anything. Moving on to killer updates, we have the Twins. Now, I don't know why, but they've done a bunch of tweaks to the Twins power, some of the add-ons and the user experience and stuff. We'll just get into the power changes and then I'll give my thoughts on all this. So for the power changes, the visual terror radius accessibility setting will now include Victor's grunts, which is apparently a new feature. Victor will now glow red whenever he is vulnerable to being crushed and white when he is not. That is also new. Charlotte can now recall Victor at any point while he is unbound. That is also new. A new icon has been added to indicate the moment when Victor can be recalled. That is also new. Then moving on to like buffs, I guess. They've decreased the time it takes to switch back to Charlotte to 1.5 seconds, which was previously 3 seconds. So that got a minor buff. They've decreased the time it takes to unbind Victor to 0.75 seconds, which was previously 1 second. They've decreased the time it takes to charge Victor's pounce to 0.85 seconds from 1 second, which is also buffed as well. And then finally, they did have a small nerf where they've increased the cooldown for Victor to come back after being crushed to 10 seconds, which was previously 6. Moving on to the add-ons, the Tiny Fingernail, it now decreases Victor's unbind time by 33%, which was 50% before, so that got a massive nerf. Oh my god. I can kind of understand it, you know, before it was literally like a half amount. 50%, that was pretty crazy. And then for the Toy Sword, it now decreases pounce charge time by 10%, which was previously 20. So both of those add-ons were nerfed. Finally, for the user experience improvements or UX, for the power widget, Victor's cooldown is now displayed. Cooldown is now displayed at a decreased opacity. Charlotte's power icon updates to surface when recalling Victor is available. Charlotte's power icon updates to surface. The correct input when recalling Victor is available. And yeah, that is all for the twins. So yeah, what do I think of this? Really, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. I never really hated the speed of anything. I didn't really hate how the twins played before, like necessarily. It wasn't really the gameplay. I just thought they were boring to play in general. That's really all it was for me, at least. But do I think all of these changes are going to bring players flocking to the twins? You know, they're all going to start playing the twins now? No, I don't think that at all. I don't think anyone's really going to care. And if anyone does, it'll probably be for like a week so everyone can like see what the new changes are and everything. And then everyone will go back to playing the other killers like before, because I just don't think anybody cares that much about the twins. It's a shame, but it is what it is. I guess they're just not very interesting to a lot of people. I may be wrong though. Maybe people just don't like the twins because they thought they were a buggy mess. Maybe that was it. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Yeah, some good changes in there. Obviously, we got a few nerfs, but all in all, doesn't really change my stance on them as a killer. I probably won't play him still. Moving on though to the Blight. He also got updated. So for the power, they've improved collision detection to reduce cases where the Blight slides off objects. I have had that happen a few times, so I'm kind of happy they've fixed that. That's good. For his add-ons, with the shredded notes, it decreases the time to recharge a rush token by 0.33 seconds now, and literally the only thing they changed for that add-on is that they removed the downside to it that there was before, so that's nice. For the summoning stone, it increases the initial rush duration by 0.5 seconds, and apparently that is a reworked functionality. And for the soul chemical add-on, it now increases the initial rush speed by 5%, which is also a reworked functionality. Moving on to the user experience UX improvements for the Blight. With the power widget, cooldown is now displayed at a decreased opacity. Cooldown now uses the consistent white color. Cooldown is now displayed per charge. Rush duration is now surfaced, and the time to perform a new rush is now surfaced. That is all for the Blight. Not anything really there that stands out to me. I'm happy they got rid of that weird collision thing where it would make you slide off objects. I'm glad they got rid of that. As for the rest of it, I can't really say I care too much. Moving on now to perk updates. We got 3 perks here that were tweaked. So for ultimate weapon, the alien perk, it now activates for 15 seconds instead of 30, which it was before. So that got halved. It now reveals survivor auras for 3 seconds instead of causing them to scream and show their position. And they've increased the cooldown to 80/70/60 seconds, which was previously 40, 35, and 30 seconds. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't actually remember which one ultimate weapon was. Was that the one where you checked lockers? I believe it was, right? It was the one that you open lockers and it would tell you where survivors are in your nearby radius. I can kind of understand why they'd half the time because it was pretty ridiculous, but at the same time, I'm not happy that they nerfed that perk because I liked it, you know? I thought it was really cool. But yeah, there you go. That's what they've done to that. For Decisive Strike, though, now this one is actually a pretty popular change. A lot of people have been discussing this recently on Twitter, so basically they've just reverted it back to what it used to be, which is really interesting to see, but they've increased the stun duration to 5 seconds from 3 seconds that it was before. So old DS is back, baby. It's back in full force. It's exactly how it used to be in the past, so that's kind of cool. And I think with this, they have also added an animation, which they didn't list on there anywhere. I might be wrong. Maybe that didn't follow through from the PTB, but I believe they've added an animation now for when you're using the perk, so that's kind of cool. But I could be wrong, like I say. Finally, for Adrenaline, the burst of speed now lasts 3 seconds, which was previously 5 seconds. Adrenaline no longer activates if you are hooked or carried when the gates are powered, and Adrenaline no longer causes you to wake up when facing the nightmare. I don't really have any thoughts on that because I don't have Adrenaline. I've not prestiged Meg Thomas yet to unlock that for every other survivor. But as for the other two, happy about DS, but for Ultimate Weapon, that's a little bit disappointing, but understandable nonetheless. Moving on now to environment/maps. So I'm sure most of you have heard about this. They've reworked Haddonfield again. Wee, I guess. I don't know why they did this. I guess they just decided the map was too long. We'll just read it out. So the map has been difficult for the players to enjoy. I didn't mind it, to be honest, but whatever. We made the decision to update it, prioritizing gameplay quality. The length of the street was reduced. Line of sight blockers have been added in the street. They've removed any closed houses. They've reduced the amount of tiles in the map, added gameplay and blockers on the border tiles, and they've added openings in the main house to improve the navigation and the gameplay, and the park tiles have also been revisited. So they've apparently done a full-on overhaul to that map. I haven't seen it yet, but maybe I'll include some gameplay to show you what that looks like. I imagine the visuals, like how the map looks, will be the same in that regard, but just the layout of everything will be different, so that's cool, I guess. Finally, moving on to the gameplay mechanics, the generator damage interaction has been reviewed so that the generator is actually damaged closer to the point where the hit lands to prevent letting go of the input early. Honestly, I'm happy about that. I've done that so many times, so thank fuck. And for the emblems, it is no longer possible to lose a pip after a match. That is all of the changes, guys. The rest of them are bug fixes. As I always say, I don't read those out. So patch notes will be linked in the description if you want to go and read the bug fixes. I don't know why you'd want to be honest. It's pretty boring to scroll through, but there we go. So those are all the changes. All in all, there's some great changes in there, especially the new item shop. That sounds very interesting. I honestly did not expect them to do that, but you know what? The game was feeling a little bit stale in terms of the UI and like the general interface, so I'm honestly all for it. I think it's cool that they've added a more extensive shop. I think that's great. I love that they've reworked DS as well. The fact that that's gone back to original is very exciting. It was only a matter of time, I guess. As for the twins, there's some good changes in there. We did get a few nerfs, a few buffs. All in all, I don't feel like it'll make a huge difference, but you know, I can't really argue with positive changes to a killer that no one plays, you know, at least they're positive. And as for the rest of it, I don't know. There's nothing in there that I particularly hate. All in all, sounds like a pretty damn good update. Maybe you guys think completely opposite. Let me know down in the comments what you think of these changes, any of the changes discussed in this video. I'd be very interested to know. If this was helpful or you enjoyed, be sure to smash the like button down below to let me know. It would greatly help the video out in the algorithm. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already, so you never miss a single video of mine. Thank you all so much for watching, and I shall catch you all very soon with a new video. Goodbye.